What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Van Jones is a very interesting political commentator. He is allegedly a voice for the black community. And I guess, in my honest opinion, he is pretty much something similar to what Candace Owens is for the right, except he's on the left. Van Jones has a lot of liberal black talking points. He speaks on the behalf of the black community, but he stays with white women all the time. You know, every time you see this guy, he has a white lady. You know, white wife, white baby mama, never married to anybody black, never is doing anything in the black community. Everything that he does, he gets the money from whites. He's a lot different than somebody like Roland Martin, okay? I have a little bit of respect for Roland Martin, but he's a liberal to say the least. Now, Van Jones hates Donald Trump, okay? Remember when Trump won in 2016 and Van Jones gave this hilarious cry?
Van, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Tell them the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have to worry if the president doesn't want you here. If you're an immigrant, you don't have to worry if the president's going to be happier to have babies snatched away or send dreamers back for no reason. This is vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered. You know, the I can't breathe. You know, that wasn't just George Floyd. That was a lot of people that felt that they couldn't breathe. Every day you're waking up and you're getting these tweets and you just don't know, and you're going to the store and people who have been afraid to show their racism are getting nastier and nastier to you, and you're worried about your kids and you're worried about your sister. And can she just go to Walmart and get back into her car without somebody saying something to her? And you spent so much of your life energy just trying to hold it together.
And then it was Van Jones that called for the end of Biden's campaign as the candidate for the presidential election.
That was painful. I love Joe Biden. I work for Joe Biden. He didn't do well at all. He did not do well at all. And he looked, you know, I'll give you the analysis, you know, you kind of have the old man versus the con man. I can walk you through how I'm supposed to see it and say it, but I just want to speak from my heart. I love that guy. That's a good man. He loves his country. He's doing the best that he can. But he had a test to meet tonight to restore confidence of the country and of the base, and he failed to do that. And I think there's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now.
Now, after forcing Biden out, him and Obama, here's what he has to say.
The Democratic Party is a family. At the end of the day, this is a family matter. You know, Joe Biden's body may not be as strong as it used to be. His language skills may not be as sharp as it used to be. His heart is as big as ever. His heart is as big and as true and as strong. And this is the difference between a politician and a leader. He made a selfless decision, and people are heartbroken. Even people who are pushing for this to happen. It's kind of like when your grandpa, you got to take the keys, and everybody, you got to take his keys, you got to take his keys, you got to, and he's fighting, and everybody's so frustrated, and then you finally get the keys back, and then you just cry. Because this is somebody that you love. This is somebody that you care about. This is somebody who was there for you. This is somebody, you wouldn't be here without him. And you have to take something from him. Now, this is not, look, politics is politics. But this is a human moment for one of the great humans in America. This is a huge moment for him, for his family, for all of us who love him, for all of us who wanted him to get across the finish line. But if you're a young person watching this is leadership. This is patriotism. This is what it means to put the country first and put the party first and put the cause first. When your arm gets tired, you let somebody else finish pitching the game. That's what Joe Biden has done, and he's done that for all of us. And so I just want to say, I don't know who's going to be the VP, the non-VP. I don't know anything about politics. I just know that I love this man. I care about this man. It was painful every day to sit up here and talk about him like he's just some problem for the party. Wait till we get to the convention. You're going to see people crying, standing, screaming, cheering. He may not get a chance to talk for 10 minutes. We finally get a chance to put our arm around this guy. He did the right thing for this country. He did the right thing for this party. All of us are going to be in this situation someday, and I hope that we take a moment to honor this man and to love this man. I love Joe Biden. I appreciate what he's done, and a lot of people are heartbroken today. Even if it's the right thing, it's still just horrible.
Again, there is Van Jones crying and crying and crying again. And what I want to ask you, Brother Van Jones, since you are so adamant and you're tearing up and crying all the time, since Joe Biden did so much for people, and you yourself believe that you are a black person and you speak for the black community, then how do you quantify this?
Take back the streets. It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. That's number one. There's a consensus on that. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now.
You see, Joe Biden clearly stated that he doesn't care what you have been through for criminals, doesn't care about the circumstances in which those criminals have been formalized. That's not his issue. All he cares about is the crime. But these are the policies that Democrats have done, created a wedge in Black America, optimizing these results. And yet you sit back idly by and you cry as if this man has done something great for our community. You, sir, in my honest opinion, not only are you a racial hypocrite, you are a racial bigot. Now, what does bigot means? It's talking about somebody who expresses strong, unreasonable beliefs in disliking other people who have different beliefs or different way of life. The Democratic Party is unreasonable in its belief that African Americans should still vote for them based on the results that that party has produced for our group. You are a bigot. It's the greatest example in the world. Look at all of the cities ran by Democrats. What are the results? Look at the Black family. What are the results? All are terrible. And you cry for Biden. The issue is you don't cry for your own people because you don't love your people. And this is why you see people out here crying for Zaddy. And you have the unmitigated gall to sit your ass up there and do such. It is despicable, Van Jones. And again, you see, it's one thing to be educated like he was at the University of Tennessee Martin. You were educated at Yale, but you were never educated in supporting your people. You see, you look black and you pretend to be down with the black, but everything about Van Jones is anti his own group. In a high education, no matter what it is, taught to you by white Europeans, if it doesn't benefit your group, if it doesn't edify your community, that is a worthless education. It is not worth a hill of bean, as the old folk used to say. I don't care what school you went to. If you are not serious about educating your people, you're trash. And Van Jones, you do not care. And you have been exposed. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.